15 Things You Didn't Know About Aston Martin. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxer, and welcome back to another Alux.com original video. We're huge fans of luxury cars, so today we'll be taking a look at 15 things you didn't know about Aston Martin. One of the things we have in common with James Bond is the passion for this luxurious brand. Sitting behind the wheel of an Aston Martin almost instantly elevates you to the next level of sophistication. The privately held automobile company was founded by Robert Bamford and Lionel Martin in 1913, more than 100 years ago. Although the brand had a rocky start, it found worldwide recognition with the launch of the DB5 model in the James Bond Goldfinger movie. Ever since, Aston Martin has been regarded as the perfect combination between a luxury and a sports car. With that being said, let's get started. Number 1. Lionel Martin raced in Aston Valley, and hence the name. Before Lionel Martin, the co-founder of the company, started making cars, he used to participate in mountain rallies organized at Aston Hill. When he established the automobile company with Robert Bamford, he eventually named the company Aston Martin as a tribute to the place that inspired him. Number 2. The current logo is the 9th modification of the original. Very few car brands kept their original logo. Aston Martin is not one of them. As the ownership of the company passed from one hand to another, the logo faced modifications, sometimes so heavy that it merely had any resemblance to its predecessor. Number 3. The current logo has its inspiration in ancient Egypt. The car logo has been known to be based on an Egyptian scarab beetle, with its wings spread on both sides. This is why the logo is often called the wings of Aston Martin. Number 4. Most Aston Martin cars have a pet name. It all started with Lionel Martin, who used to nickname each Aston Martin car he drove, and it seems that the tradition has been kept on. The owners of this brand have a pet name for their cars to convey the love they have for their piece of luxury, aristocracy, and perfection. Number 5. Daniel Craig has a lifetime premium access to Aston Martin cars. One of the perks of playing James Bond in the movies is not only do you get to drive incredible cars on set, but in the case of Daniel Craig, Aston has provided him with a lifetime premium access card to any Aston Martin car he desires. Not too shabby. Number 6. The Aston Martin used in the Goldfinger movies was sold for £1 million. That's $1.4 million. The car has a few gadgets installed as props for the movie, which obviously influenced the price. To put things into perspective, in the 1970s, you could pick up a brand new DB5 for only $6,000. Number 7. The most expensive Aston Martin ever sold was purchased for $13.5 million. As you probably know by now, Alux.com is the leading website in the world when it comes to ranking the most expensive things. The 1962 DB4 GT Zagato was sold in December of 2015 at Sotheby's auction house in New York. Only 19 cars were made, and this one was purchased by a collector who chose to remain anonymous. Number 8. A guy who built tractors bought Aston Martin for just $30,000. David Brown was a British industrialist and the owner of a tractor company, which bore his name. In 1947, he saw a classifieds ad for a high-class motor business on sale for $30,000. Adjusted for inflation, that would have been around $400,000 in today's money. He purchased Lagonda that same year, and the two companies have been intertwined ever since. The David Brown period was one of the most successful and prosperous eras in Aston's history. In fact, he did such a great job that he was granted knighthood in 1968 and was henceforth known as Sir David Brown. That's where the D and B initials come from. Number 9. 90% of all Aston Martins ever made are still on the road today. Current Aston Martin CEO Ulrich Bez recently claimed that of the roughly 65,000 cars made in its 103-year history, 90% are still on the road. This might be a slight exaggeration, in that it might be more accurate to say 90% of Aston Martins are still in existence, in various states of repair ranging from new to dilapidated. Either way, that's mighty impressive. Number 10. Aston shocked a lot of people in Dubai. If you haven't yet seen our video on the 15 things you didn't know about Dubai, we strongly recommend you do so. It's filled with amazing facts. An Aston Martin Vanquish was airlifted onto the Burj Al Arab Hotel in Dubai. It was the first time a car had been airlifted to over 10,000 feet, or 300 meters, and it caught everybody's attention as it was transported to the helipad. Number 11. Aston Martin's famous V12 engine has a dirty secret. The iconic engine is basically just two Ford engines fused together, and Ford was okay to provide Aston with the engines. The same engine produces 568 HP in the Vanquish, and a larger version produces 750 HP in the ultra-exclusive 111 hypercar. Number 12. Each Aston Martin 177 takes around 2,700 hours to build. The 177 is one of the fastest cars Aston Martin has ever built. Roughly 2,700 man-hours go into the construction of each one, which costs $1.9 million a pop. Though even if you have the funds to buy one, you're already too late. All 77 examples have been sold. This is a reoccurring strategy for Aston Martin. Come up with a limited batch of cars that top the previous ones. Number 13. Aston Martin is in the Guinness Book of World Records. There is a scene in the movie Casino Royale where James Bond's Aston rolls over 7 times after trying to avoid a collision. That's more than any other car, and the folks from Guinness were happy to deliver the title. Number 14. The DB10 featured in the movie Spectre was created just for the movie. Sadly, you wouldn't be able to get your hands on a DB10, even if you could afford one. 10 cars were made exclusively for the movie. In total, there were $34 million in car damages making the movie, and Aston is happy to report all 10 cars survived the experience. 9 of them will be showcased around the world in automotive museums, and 1 has been auctioned off for charity. It sold for $3.5 million. Number 15. There will be no DB10 for the general public. The executive board decided to grant exclusivity to the 007 franchise for the DB10 name, and the next model will jump straight to DB11. The DB11 should hit the market somewhere in 2017 with a starting price of a little over $200,000. What do you think about Aston Martins? If you had the money, would you buy an Aston, or would you go for something different in the same price range? Because you stuck with us to this point, we're sharing an extra fact with you. Number 16. James Bond's DB10 was only a concept. The director of Spectre toured the Aston Martin design studio and fell in love with the sketch he saw on one of the walls, and insisted that it must be the new Bond car. The thing is, it was only 7 months away before the filming started, so the team at Aston Martin worked day in and day out to bring the car to life and ship 10 of them. Amazing! Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story. Oh, you're still here. Okay, here's something just for you. Aston Martin teamed up with Faraday Future, the main competitor of Elon Musk's Tesla, to create an all-electric car. So the next time we see James, the car might be an electric supercar. Now come on, subscribe, you know we deserve it.